The definitive essence of our Christian walk is not enshrined in how many quotations we are able to verbalize. It has nothing to do with how well we are able to present ourselves as pure, holy, and righteous. It has everything to do with the tenacity with which we go about witnessing of the kingdom above. For this cause was the Son of God revealed, that he may destroy the works of the enemy. The purpose Jesus was revealed was to cause the world to have an escape route from which to escape the damnation of hell. That's what we will be asked when we get to heaven. No one's going to ask you about what church you belong to, or who was your bishop, or what you did on Sunday morning. That has no bearing at all. What would be important, the vital question that we will all have to answer, is how many souls we brought into the kingdom. This fundamental concept of the true essence of Christianity is missing in our talk today. We don't find it in the pulpits. It's never one of the discussions at the Sunday schools. We don't deliberate on these things anymore. Everybody's thinking about how we become comfortable in our everyday lives. And so we are all prone to miracles and great things. And I want God to use my gifts. All of it boils down to one thing: how many souls we save into the kingdom. It was a wise man who said that if you don't stand for something, then you stand for nothing at all. It may seem simple, quite tautological, but if you think about it, it's a very powerful statement. Because many of us profess to stand for Christ, yet we're standing for nothing at all. Because what Christ stands for is different from what we stand for, yet we profess to stand for Him. And so the Bible says in the final days, He's going to ask you and I, when I was sick, where were you? When I was in prison, where were you? When I was mourning and crying, where were you? But to very few of us, He would say, thou faithful and honored servant, enter into the rest of the Lord. I think that we have to think through this all over again. You weren't born again to enjoy the affluences of life. You weren't saved to become exceptionally good at your trade. You were saved to become a witness. So the Bible says, Jesus said to His disciples, I'm going to go, but the Spirit of God will come upon you, that you may be my witnesses in Judea, in Samaria, and unto the utmost parts of the earth. That mandate hasn't changed. That command still rings strong. We have an intrinsic responsibility, you and I. The day we were translated from death into life, we were saddled with this responsibility of going to tell the story. We have to tell of the love of Jesus. For this cause was He revealed to destroy the works of the enemy. The Bible says God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him will not perish but have everlasting life. Whosoever means whosoever. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. An Arab, an African, it doesn't matter at all. Whosoever. But the Bible says, how will they hear except we go tell them? How will they know except somebody helps them discover it? That's where you and I come in. The vital instrument through which God extends an arm of love to draw people to Himself. You and I. And so probably you sit next to this guy on the bus every morning to work, and never once have you thought of telling them about Jesus Christ. Maybe you share the same lunch table with this colleague at work. Never once have you thought of sharing the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. What would be your response when finally in heaven God says to you, I created all those opportunities so you would share the word, and you never did? That's what Christianity is all about. Everything else, I call it a peripheral. Everything else is an add-on. Most important thing is a salvation message. You've been made comfortable so you can share that message. You've been equipped with wisdom so you can share that message. God is giving you gifts so you can share that message. So let me just say this. Everything we do ends up in futility if it doesn't point somebody else to Jesus Christ. Think about it deeply. Think about it steadily. Be honest with yourself. What is your contribution? What is your contribution to the message of Jesus Christ? Let's go back. Let's do it right. In that day, and this is that day, make yourself worthwhile. Make your efforts worthwhile. Allow yourself to be counted as part of those who are contributing positively to this revolution Jesus started 2,000 years ago. Calvary's cross still bleeds, and it bleeds a redemption, powerful blood that is extended to all human beings. It doesn't matter their color, their race, their language, or skin. Will you be his hands today? Will you be his legs today? Make a decision, because the world and the destiny of men depends on you. Always a lovely time to share these snippets with you. God bless you.